It is day 77. Rapid fire, a few similar quotes here today. Let's start here. If you're still breathing, there's still time to fight. Or if you're still breathing, you're never out of the fight. The next one, if you're still breathing, God isn't finished with you. Lastly, no matter how much it hurts, how dark it gets, or no matter how far you fall, you are never out of the fight. So, the theme today, again, you are not out of the fight. If you still have breath in your lungs, there's still opportunity to improve. There's still opportunity to correct course. There's still opportunity to become the person that God has made you to be. To fend off our human desires and to take a step towards the Spirit. To deny our flesh and to accept the gift, the free gift of salvation that God's given you. Because I've had videos on this in the past, but there's beauty in redemption, man. Like there's beauty in correction and redemption and becoming optimal. Because truly, like if we are alive, there is opportunity to grow. Like, it's a random example, but I was getting gas the other day. I was just standing outside, pumping gas into my Jeep, and I look over to kind of a busy road, and I don't know why it struck me, but there was this guy in a gray hooded sweatshirt, had a duffel bag, and they're just walking alongside the road. And I was just thinking about them as they were walking. I didn't know where they were coming from or where they were going to. And I was just interested. I was curious. It's like, we're living very different lives right now. And I don't know what that is per se, but it's like I'm getting in my vehicle and this person is walking what looks like across the country. I was wondering, is this person just going down the street? Are they walking across America? I don't know. I don't know their story and they don't know mine. And one is not better than the other. Who knows? They were too far away for me to strike up a conversation. I was just thinking about this person. Anyways, I say that to say, it's like this person could be having the best day of their life or they could be falling on hard times. I don't know. But I was just thinking about this person. It's like they have the opportunity, whether it's a great day for them or whether it's a difficult day because they're cold and they're walking outside in February, what looks like to be down a long highway. But again, as I was thinking about him, it's like this person has the opportunity, whatever they're going through, because they're alive, because they're able, like they are able to do anything that they choose. And I think there's just so much beauty as humans. Is like we can wake up every single morning, starting it with this moment, but like we can go to bed tonight, wake up in the morning, and we can pursue what God has called us to do. We can help volunteer. We can call a friend. We can quit a job. We can accept another job. We can work overtime. Like there's so many things that we can do in this life. And I just think that sometimes we need to take a step back and really grasp that perspective of, God, I am grateful. I have so much gratitude for this extra day that you have blessed me with. And when you think of it that way, and you're just grateful for the breath in your lungs and the opportunity to press on in this life, it can really reshape how you think about your future. And you can finally start to pursue with real action the things that you've been talking about for maybe a ton of years, but you haven't really been acting on. It's easy to say things. It's harder to actually do. So that's what I have today is if you're still breathing, there is time to fight. There's time to pursue. It's a beautiful concept when you think about that with a grateful heart. So let's talk about the verse of Isaiah, or the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, and the verses are 9 and 10. So in verse 9 it says, I have called you back from the ends of the earth, saying, you are my servant, for I have chosen you, and will not throw you away. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand. And that's from the New Living Translation. And I've actually talked about that verse in a previous video, but it's resurfacing on day 77. Because I think those are beautiful words and beautiful concept to hold on to is, don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. And what I wrote down in my notebook here is like, do we believe actually that God will strengthen us? Do we believe actually that God will help us in our trials and difficulties and tribulations? Do we believe that God will hold us up with his victorious right hand? Do we believe he's chosen us? And do we believe he's not going to throw us away? Do we believe that because we're called by God that we are qualified to do the hard thing? To deny the oppression that our human selves want to give into, these vices and these things that are unproductive, but to pursue something greater? Like, do we believe that? I've been in seasons of my life where I've read it and I've written it down, but I haven't actually believed, at least with action. I've wanted to believe, but I haven't done my part. And again, it's just spiritual training of reading these things and just pressing them into my mind and into my heart and acting on them daily. I'm not perfect at all, but just trying to pursue that and believe it with my whole heart every single day amidst the good and the bad times. It's like today, I've had a couple doctor's appointments recently, nothing major, but I've talked about it in previous videos. It's a trigger for me. For whatever reason, I get clammy at times and I can get nervous, and it's gotten a lot better as years have gone on, but I'm just sitting there this morning waiting like 45 minutes for my name to get called back. And I have this human tendency. I can't fully overcome it at this point for whatever reason. I'm working on it, but it's like my body wants to get anxious. And I was just thinking about it sitting in the waiting room today. It's like, do I believe that God's going to intervene and help me? Do I believe that Jesus is going before me? And am I casting my anxieties on him? Or am I holding it in and becoming more tightly wound? Trying to restructure that or rewire that in my brain of like, okay, I'm nervous right now in this moment. For whatever reason, my brain chemistry feels like it's making me that way. But beyond that, beyond fear or beyond anxiety, I'm going to trust him more. And that's a beautiful way that we can free ourselves. And again, knowing that I'm not perfect, but I'm still breathing. I still have tomorrow to continue to improve. I still have next week. Not to say I'm going to delay and just push things off, but if I'm actively pursuing what God's called me to do today, there's hope and joy in the fact that I will be a better version of myself for God tomorrow, next week, next month, and next year. And following that journey and letting it play out for the rest of your life is exactly where we need to be. So if you're still breathing, God's not finished with you. No matter how dark it gets, no matter what your current circumstance is, you're never out of the fight. Isaiah 41, verses 9 through 10. God's chosen us. He's not going to throw us away. He says not to be afraid. He's with us. Don't be discouraged. He's our God. He's going to help us. He's going to strengthen us. And he's going to hold us up. And that's day 77.